Hey, what's up, y'all? And of course, welcome to another alternative factuals video. Like I said, you get videos, I guess, technically 2 days back to back in terms of its release date for the most part. But this video is going to be about 7 minutes long. For the most part, this is going to be about Tobias and in Black Lightning. And this is a video I've been meaning to do for a while, but like I said, I'm trying to kind of dive into different things so that way I kind of give it some sort of spacing when it comes to Black Lightning and Cloak and Dagger and stuff like that. Because like I said, Black Lightning is one of my most extensive playlists for the most part. Anyways, before I dive into all this jazz and all this hoo-ha, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're feeling. And without further ado, let's kind of just dive into this. Okay, so when it comes to Tobias, now he's a very interesting character. For the most part, when it comes to his comics, you know, he's never really had a solo comic, but he's primarily been an enemy of the, of Black Lightning since, day one, pretty much. That's never really been a mystery. He's always been someone who's been like this 2-bit gangster who, for the most part, was trying to appear legitimate, but for the most part, was operating very dirty. That's pretty much been consistent throughout his comics. Now, despite all that, what I'm kind of going to hone in on or focus on is more or less just simply Tobias being or becoming free. Now, ultimately, Tobias will never work for someone truly. He will definitely work under someone. He'll definitely, do what he has to do in order to get what he wants, even if he has to work under someone for a short amount of time. But he proved this with even Lady Eve. Lady Eve was someone who showed up in the first season who, for the most part, she was running the game and Tobias was working under her. And then obviously Tobias kind of orchestrated a situation where she died. And I feel like the way that she died was a little corny or cheesy or kind of just, it didn't really fit the scenario because she was highly intelligent, and then it seemed like she let her guard down for Tobias when she was well aware that she could never trust Tobias. But whatever. Anyways, I think Tobias is actually going to take the deal for with Odell, basically, and I'm pretty sure by the time this video comes out, when I decide to release this video, it probably would have happened already, or there's already been talks about it in terms of the episodes itself. But Tobias being free basically means, yeah, he'll function with the ASA, he'll move with the ASA, he'll operate on their clock, he'll do what they ask him to do. Especially they're going to provide him with a version of his steroids that not only will return his youth, but also give his body the strength that he needs in order for him to achieve those goals. And what he might even do is try and find out how did they perfect those steroids, or the newer version of the steroids, much like how they gave Black Lightning a newer version of his suit. But we're going to see how they perfected it, and then for the most part, he's going to be a lot more powerful in terms of, his strength and his durability when it comes to all that. For the most part, at least that's what I'm under the impression is going to happen. Now, he's going to be free, like I said, operating with the ASA, doing what they do, and then eventually he's going to run into Painkiller, but realize that that's not really Painkiller. But also, I think what's going to happen is Tobias is going to trigger a very specific memory when it comes to Khalil. Now, obviously, Khalil killed his mother, and then that didn't really do anything, because not to say like Khalil didn't love his mother, but simply, unfortunately, the way that the human mind works is usually the brain responds specifically a lot, more in detail to like trauma, So don't get me wrong, it's very possible you can love somebody and then you can see them, and then because you love them that much, it definitely can bring back some of those memories, those loving memories. But also, I know the brain is very, very adept in making sure that you prevent the feeling of any kind of pain, whether it be emotional, mental, or physical. Your body will do almost anything to never experience pain again, or to keep you from re-experiencing whatever you went through. Meaning, I'm pretty sure he will see Tobias, and then he'll start to kind of get glimpses of memories, or his emotions or some sort of thing will kind of kick in, and then his body will kind of put him in this fight or flight mode when he's around Tobias, for the most part. At least that's what I'm predicting and at the time that I'm making this video. So I think that's a very, very interesting thing when it comes to Tobias. He's going to run into Khalil for sure, Painkiller, and then Painkiller is a lot more deadly now. He is trained to death. Literally, he knows like 20 something versions of martial arts, and he can definitely hone in on how much poison he wants to put into someone's bloodstream. He has precise control over how much he does with his body, which makes him even more deadly. And remember, he has enhanced strength, enhanced reflexes. He is absolutely a problem. Tobias will not have an easy time dealing with this version of Painkiller. If anything, this version of Painkiller as well is a lot more closer to what he was like in the original Year One Black Lightning comics way back in the day. Painkiller was a problem. He actually gave Black Lightning a run for his money the first time that they encountered each other, and he actually had to go for round 2, and then that's when Black Lightning beat him, because he was not prepared for what, I guess Painkiller brought to the battle. Well, Painkiller died, at the second round. But anyways, the point being, Tobias is going to run into Khalil. All right, cool. Then Tobias is going to work for the ASA. He's going to, complete missions. If anything, Tobias is going to be released back into Freeland, but he's going to be under the guise of the ASA, so that way he can help run a lot of the street level, I guess, crimes or whatever the drugs that are being distributed amongst the people. Probably run into Lala, and then obviously Lala's powers seem to be developing at such a rate where he has a monstrous healing factor, and he's no longer going to be under the control of Tobias. Well, yeah, he probably can't hurt Tobias with that serum that he's got in the system. However, he's still gonna, have a hard time taking out Tobias, and Tobias is gonna have a hard time killing him, because you basically created someone who is pretty much immortal. His body's been exploded, he's been shot in the head, you can burn all those tattoos in him. No matter what you do, his body seems to recover, and that's just the nature of his abilities in the TV show. So basically, Tobias is gonna come back to the streets. He's gonna run the game, at least, like I said, under the guise of, the ASA. He's gonna operate under them for a little bit to make it seem like he's playing nice with them. But ultimately, he has in the back of his head, I need to kill Black Lightning. I need to take out Black Lightning. I need to take out Lightning. I need to take out Thunder. I need to take them all out, because they have done nothing but bring down my empire. I literally had everything, and now I'm here with nothing, as like running around as a lapdog for somebody else. So he's definitely going to take that deal, for sure. He's definitely going to, find some sort of way to, enhance his abilities. And if he has to go through the ASA to do it in order to kind of betray them later on along the line, just like anybody else, then I'm down for it. But ultimately too, I think also Black Lightning might be the one who's going to free Tobias, because we already know that Jefferson is the one who's well aware of like the fact that yes, the ASA are manipulating his entire family for the most part. Kind of playing a game into everybody. The only people who seem to be off the radar enough to the point that the ASA doesn't really have a huge grip on them seems to be mostly Gambi, Black Lightning. Even though they have some sort of play with him, they're manipulating him by manipulating his family, but mostly Gambi, Black Lightning, and I would say kind of Anissa too, because she doesn't really seem too involved with Agent Odell, and I think Odell is well aware of that, because she's already an adult and she's not as impressionable as Jennifer is, who's a teenager who's going through a seriously wide range of emotions due to her body, not just obviously when it comes to her monthly situation because she's a female, nothing like that, but more or less related to her abilities. Her point in time in her life where basically she's going through changes, and in general, because of those changes, are now kind of being added on to the fact that she has powers now she feels isolated mentally, and she's a lot more impressionable because she wants to feel a little bit more accepted due to her scenario and her situation, as well as how events have played out within the last like 6 to 7 months in her life. So that's going to be a very interesting development, and that's the reason why Odell is clinging to her, because she's the most powerful, she's the most deadly, she's the most unstable, and she's the most impressionable. So she's going to be a problem, and which is why I feel like Black Lightning should have been at least more powerful than she is, or really close to her power level, because if Odell really gets his grips deep down into Jennifer, and she's gonna be able to cause some massive amounts of problems, and I think not really anybody can really stop her because of the nature of her powers and how powerful she truly is. But yeah, for the most part, I think Tobias is definitely going to escape. He's going to work for the ASA before a short amount of time, and you already know he's going to come back. He's going to wreak havoc, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get even with Black Lightning, even if he has to team up with Black Lightning at some point for a short amount of time, just so they can be enemies again. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know how you're feeling about this theory. Like I said, this video was kind of made a while ago, but I decided to release it the day that it's coming out. So let me know what you think, and if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like, share, and of course subscribe. Let me know your theories in the comments down below and all that stuff, and I hope to see you later on. Peace out.